What I see is that we must see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think we must not have one rock unturned that doesn't allow us to see what we have allowed and permitted. We have to see what we have participated in, that we have been wittingly or unwittingly participants in heinous acts against humanity, and this should help us clarify who we are. This should help us evolve. We may be able to grow beyond, no, I don't want to see it. Because, no, I don't want to see it doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who are here on the earth plane now are the ones who should be thoroughly disgusted by what has happened to humanity and what is still happening under our watch. Welcome to Call for the Truth. I am Lot of the Sun, and this is Tavares of the Sun, and we're happy to have you in our conversation today about freedom. But before we begin, Tavares, will you bring us into the Call for Truth?
Well, certainly. We encourage you all to join us in the Call for the Truth. Shall we call forth the frequency of truth? Shall we call to see the truth in all that we see? Shall we call to hear the truth in all that we hear? Shall we call to speak the truth, calling forth the courage to speak the truth? Shall we call forth nothing less than the truth to come forward into our experience? We are saturated in the truth.
Yay!
And speaking of truth, today we are doing a card pull from the Call for the Truth divination cards. And our theme is freedom.
Yeah.
And this is through the lens of the sacral chakra. And the maxim we're looking at is allow yourself the freedom to be patient. If you rush through something, you miss the beauty in the moment that was meant for you. Do not stress. And the book further states, do not lock yourself into impatience prison. So what is the understanding that we need to have about this maxim?
The idea of allowing ourselves to be rushed, when we think about it, everything about our lives is convenience and rush, rush, rush. That is a sign of anti-life. That is a sign of don't go deeply into the silence. Don't go deeply to hear what's going on. Don't listen to the guidance. Rush through it. Run across the street before the red light. Put your foot on the gas when the light is yellow. Talk so fast that people don't understand you. Say the words without depth or meaning. Move through things in a way where you are not adhering to the magic and the power in the words or the thing. That is a sign of being pushed artificially through a system or through things without having the full attention of yourself. You're not in full attention because you're in rushing. So you can't be in full attention and be in rushing.
It's like the rush is
yes.
Already you're in the next idea.
You're already
present.
there. And so you're never in the present moment. You're constantly in the future. You're constantly somewhere you are not. There is nowhere to be but in the now. But if you're rushing, you're already, your body is already there. Your steps are already there. So you are never in the stability of the now moment.
Yeah. Looks like being stretched, torn in two different places. So it sounds like enslavement as well. The idea of being in multiple spaces, and I'm not talking about multidimensionality, talking about not being present, being in our past and our future. It's there's some component of enslavement. Would you?
It's not any different than when we talk to people who are always in the past.
Yeah.
They are always missing the opportunity for power because they're thinking about when they were a child. They're thinking about their parents, or they're thinking about something that hurt them or somebody. They're always outside of the moment where the power is. They're always somewhere where there is no power. It is the same thing, urgency. or the urgency and the emergency, which I've been saying lately.
Yeah.
The urgency, we have to take the urgency out of the emerging event, so it's not an emergency. The emerging event is the next appropriate thing, but it's next. It's not now. It is so important to gain your balance. You lose your footing between the now and the next. Your footing is in the both feet on the ground in the now. So being able to assess a moment, actually, because you are the creator of your reality, you are able to actually assess the moment. We think that things are just going to run away with us if we don't hurry up and catch up to them, but we are the reality. If we slow down, everything slows down.
Yeah.
But if we think it's running away from us, then in fact it is.
Yeah.
So I like the language you use, like you need to be chill. Like you just chill out and see.
Take a deep inhale of chill.
Yeah, get in the moment
I'm here.
and then bring yourself into clarity where whatever's in the moment can be handled, which is always the case.
Yeah. So that's another great solution. Breath and
Breath is
to
breath
release
is the
that
best.
urgency, that exhale that emergency out of you.
Well, that's how you have a baby.
True that.
Exhale that emergency right on out.
That's right.
I know for a fact.
Yes. Several experiences.
Yeah, that's so the freedom is to be free of the anxiety and the fear that you're going to not be where you need to be at exactly the right time. So where the freedom gives you the opportunity to be right where you're supposed to be. So we have to make sure that we keep ourselves in the moment of power, because that is the place we need to be. And that's the difference between, rushing through something, or have you heard people who memorize things and say them so fast that they didn't get any of the words themselves?
Yeah. It's just this regurgitation. And of course, we've been kind of trained like that throughout grade school to just pull in the information, but there's really no anchoring into it. I love what you were talking about with speaking fast and how you take the time to process the thoughts. What I was seeing with that was, allow yourself to feel into the words when you're speaking them, to speak with that intentionality that allows us to be present and exert power.
There is no greater power than being in command of self.
But if you rushing, I gotta hurry up and get these words out because I don't know, I might not have the opportunity because you're gonna hurry up and speak, but then I'm not gonna be able to say what I need to say.
And what's behind that? What's the thought behind that? The thought behind it is, I have to hurry. But you don't. You're eternal. What are you hurrying for?
We gonna get there.
It's gonna be a long time, no matter when you get there.
Yeah, well, it's like another
Forever.
30 seconds in the conversation. Pace yourself.
It's gonna be a long time. And often, the rush is to hurry through an unpleasant task, or to move through something that doesn't feel quite comfortable, or to be in dissonance with something but don't want to show it, so you just say it real fast.
That's so interesting. All of these examples are really great. I'd like to lean into the process of evolution, growing, shifting patterns. Funny enough, because this is sacral, and the creative, the sexual energy center, relationships ebb and flow. And I have seen within myself and clients alike, students, where maybe a person ends a relationship, they end it, and then there's that time that's required to shift the identity, to change the behaviors that attracted this. Maybe it was work, but whatever the relationship was. But then we hurry up and rush to get into a new situation, and we're experiencing more of the same. So I can see how the rushing and not allowing ourselves the necessary time to process and to be in what feels uncomfortable, and how there's knowledge and information in the uncomfort. uncomfortable spaces as well.
Yes, it's the prerequisite for evolution.
Yeah.
The uncomfortability.
Oh, we're in it.
Yeah.
It's like, I got another one. So I take cold showers, and it is such a thing. I took one this morning, which I highly encourage it for anybody who's about that life. But taking the shower in the cold, it helps me psychologically embody this, where it's uncomfortable. I'm from the equator. However, that breath, let me be with this. And it's something about doing that multiple times that I can see where it has translated into other areas of my life. But it screams power over self. No, I'm here, I'm with this. I'm not separated from. And something interesting that happens is that it doesn't feel like pain. I've even experienced it with other things, like, situations and emotions where you just go into it, don't run. And then it kind of dissipates. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, I actually have a version of it. I don't do cold showers.
I know you don't.
I'm not planning on it. I like a hot bath.
Yes.
With bubbles. However, I do put an icy cold splash of cold water on my face every morning, on purpose and by design. And I do have to think about it. I do have to okay.
Yeah, right? Look, I want to make sure we're not getting things twisted. When I'm about to go into the cold shower, there's a buffer moment of let me get my head in the game.
I even have to do that just to splash my face with icy cold water, but it brings you immediately into the present.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, I'm here now. I might have been dreamy, but I'm not dreamy no more. I'm like, the cold water, it brings you right into the present, and there's this contrast of whatever the temperature is, and what that temperature does, it gives an aliveness that it's not actually uncomfortable, it's just not the status quo.
Yeah, moving out of your
out of comfort,
out of the comfort zone. It's
but
like
it's not uncomfortable. It's more like a wake up, or a coming to arms, or standing up, or be at attention, or it's more like that. And I do it because I know that the human body needs hot and cold, and that's as close as I've gotten to it. I have a son who works out, who takes ice baths, so that's a little too far. I think the cold shower is as far as you would like to go, but it's nowhere near where I'm going to go.
Funny? I have a ice bath apparatus that is still fresh in the box.
And so I'm not, but I do know the necessity to keep yourself vibrant, that you have to have both. You have to have icy cold and hot, and I'm very clear on that. Yeah. That you can't just be warm all the time and then think that the body is getting the necessary contrast it needs to awaken. So I purposely do that, and what I find with it is that it brings me into the now moment where I have power. Like, I'm fully awake, I'm fully clear, my biology is awake. Not just my mind, because I can lay in bed and be awake, but I'm not really awake until my biology wakes up. That cold water?
Yeah, that gets you. Attention! We are here in the present. Because all that matters is, it's cold. All right, now I want to shift a little bit, because I'm looking at this from the lens of emotions are like that. Mm-hmm. There's sharp emotions and the necessity to look at it, don't run away. But to scale this conversation up about, I'm going to reread this, allow yourself the freedom to be patient. If you rush through something, you miss the beauty in the moment that was meant for you. Do not stress. So looking at this through the lens of collective, of humanity, where we find ourselves in a circumstance where we see we were enslaved, we're looking to get free. And the equivalent of the cold water is like Epstein files and rituals and this and that and all the different things that are coming to the surface, to name a few. And it's funny, because I can see where there's some people who are like, let's just get it over with, and there's some people where there's like avoidance. But I can see in our conversation a necessity to, allow this to play out. This this experience of the deconstruction needs to take place, it is a little uncomfortable. It is out of our comfort zone. It's not the status quo. Specifically to what you were saying about sometimes reality requires us to stand up, be present, and to go into what's in front of us instead of like, let me hurry up and get on the other side of it. Like, what's in this experience for humanity where we're going to gain that if we, no, let me just focus on that in the future, we lose any of the gems or the golden nuggets that I think we actually learn more about ourselves. What are your thoughts on this, and how's that landing?
What I see is that we must see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think we must not have one rock unturned that doesn't allow us to see what we have allowed and permitted. We have to see what we have participated in, that we have been wittingly or unwittingly participants in heinous acts against humanity, and this should help us clarify who we are. This should help us evolve. We may be able to grow beyond, no, I don't want to see it. Because, no, I don't want to see it doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who are here on the earth plane now are the ones who should be thoroughly disgusted by what has happened to humanity and what is still happening under our watch. And for humanity to move forward in the way that we are familiar with it, it is not possible if we devour our children in the many ways.
Yeah.
In the many ways of Satan after school programs, with porn on the internet that they can have access to, with processed food with nanobots in it, with GMO vegetables. There is no humanity. We will be leaving this to whoever set this idea up. It's like, well, I guess the earth is yours now. You can have it because humans can't live on it anymore. So if we're willing to lull and sleepwalk our way into that reality, that's what can happen. But most of us are not. I certainly am not. You know, it is, what better thing is there in this universe to do than save humanity? How about I save myself and humanity? How about I save myself, my children, and humanity? How about I save your family too? How about we all do the same for each other? What's going on Mars that you want to go do?
It sounds like escapism.
Yeah, I mean, like, where is there
the impatience?
something
I
more?
Get away from the
yeah, like
present.
You want to hurry up and get off this planet to go do what? What will you be qualified for if you leave us like this? What qualifies you?
To take the self-destruction with it to the next experience. We just did a podcast on self-destruction, and the idea was you carry your self-destruction everywhere
so you
go.
Trash this planet, now you're going to go trash all the other planets? Yeah. What makes you think they want you there bringing your trash?
Yeah, so when I look at this now from, everyday humans who are experience this, right? Not necessarily the elites trying to leave, because most of us can't really get up and go live out of orbit or
apparently
underwater.
They can't either. They're making bunkers in the earth.
That's a hell of an indicator. That came across my mind a couple of days.
Yeah, they got all the spaceships, but they all have bunkers.
Yeah, it's like, why you need that? That's because y'all can't leave.
Right.
That's right. Which is even more stupid. Literally, it's stupid. It's backwards. Where, like, you can't leave and you're still doing this to the planet. But I digress. What I was sharing was the idea of the individual who is, we are experiencing being left with a world like this, and like what's required of us. You know what I mean? Where what is it that's necessary for us to be in as this unfolds, which I think it is the uncomfortable truth of this is what we've allowed. Ooh, look at the deep levels of enslavement that we've allowed and permitted. It's actually jaw-dropping to many people, like shell shock, recognizing that this has happened. And I still think that there's victory in it. It goes back to what you were saying. Like, you know what? let me save myself. But like, how does a person move into that space where, you know, they're seeing, okay, I'm in a space that I might not want to be in. I know I want to be outside of it, but how can they move, be with the present so that they can gain what there is to be gained?
You know, we do it all the time, and we all already know the answer. You did it. You left home. You didn't like it there. You didn't like the way they were treating you.
Yeah.
So you figured out how to get out.
I said, peace. I'm out. I'm out this.
So you have left relationships?
I said, peace. I'm out. I sure did, yeah.
So we all have. We all have. You disconnect. You decide, I will not allow and permit this anymore. I have decided to have a different experience, whatever it is. And then you go and create the next experience that's hopefully less painful and more in love with self. That's how we all must do it. It has to start with each individual. Everybody individually needs to say, what did you do?
Peace. I'm out.
Yes.
Do it in style too. Be like, look, I see my worth. I'm out.
I recommend everybody, if you can do that, do that.
2-step process. That's it.
So, what does the future of money look like to you, Alex?
The future of money won't be about what we use. It'll be about who we trust. We're heading into a world where money is no longer paper. It's data. Central bank, digital currencies, programmable payments, and surveillance systems will redefine how value moves. But here's the twist. The more digital it gets, the more people will crave something real. That's why gold and silver aren't disappearing. They're becoming the anchor in a world of floating code. Money will evolve technologically, but it will always revolve around trust. And digital systems can't replicate 5,000 years of human belief in tangible value. The future of money? Digital convenience built on physical truth. The code will change, but the collateral won't. Because in every era, old or new, gold stays the final receipt.
Because that's ultimately the idea, is that each soul has to stand up within their own experience at whatever that looks like. It might look like, I'm not talking to you no more. It might look like, I won't answer you if you call me. It might look like, you come home, I'm not there. It might look like, I'm no longer in obedience to whatever you say. You know, I am not governed by you. You are not alive in me. You know
what you told me the other day?
What did I tell you?
I'm ungovernable. I don't remember the nature of the conversation, but it somehow came up and was like, T, I'm ungovernable. Like, you can't control me. And so I think...
well, because it ultimately is not about exterior force, it's about interior agreement. If I don't agree, you can't do nothing about it. You can convince me to agree, and then I will allow you to enslave me. But you're going to have to convince me to do that. I've already done that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
But it's always about, there's never like, they're making me do it. They're making you agree to allowing them to do it. That's the reality. You know, somebody says or does something, you allow it. Somebody talks bad to you, somebody treats you bad, somebody, treats you wrong sexually. Then the opportunity for you to recognize that you, at some level, presented yourself in a situation where that could happen, then you have the freedom to move yourself out of that space. You have done it. You just showed us how you did it.
Yeah.
You've done it at work, you've done it with family, you've done it with lovers. We've all done it. That's what we need to do, but we need to do it with the larger, we need to do it a little deeper. Like we should do it with our food, do it with the stores, do it with where we shop, do it with our transportation.
Mm-hmm. Which all takes us out of the status quo. All of these decisions.
Out of being governable.
Yeah. And
you become ungovernable.
That's right. You know a little something about that. A lot of something about that. And it's yeah, it's funny. I'm thinking about the examples that you've listed for myself and how, yes, it took me out of the status quo, out of the routine of appeasement or whatever I was doing, and put me in a position where now I see the beauty of not only why I went through, but the moving out of the comfort zone and the beauty in that. And it made me, it's like it developed and cultivated and molded me into being more solid, sound, and secure, and refraining from freely giving up my power and my life force in ways that went against my desire and will.
The more you gain more freedom by whatever you left behind. Whatever they were holding hostage, that you said, keep it. That's how much freedom you got.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think you have it, have at it. You have it. Now you got to take care of it.
That's right.
I'm free of it. You know, it's a mind twister for us in this dimension, but
of course,
I can tell you by experience that
it's funny. I had this thought of like, how do we get ourselves to literally flip polarity of how we're perceiving reality? And I'm like, okay, today's opposite day. I got to do complete opposite, like talking to myself in the mirror. I got to do the complete opposite of everything I've learned. They say do it, I'm not going to do it. They say eat this chemical, I'm not going to eat it. Watch this thing, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to do the opposite. You know, but your point is, yes, it is a challenge, but I think we kind of touched on this in the previous podcast of how powerful it is to choose life in every circumstance, and how that can kind of help influence the decision to pop us in a new trajectory.
I think I like what you just described, and I find it amusing too, but there's other ways to look at it. It's like, so you think that whatever you see is what I care about because I happen to have it. Well, you were wrong. I don't care. So now what are you going to do with that? I don't care. Like you think I care. Have at it. There's a whole level of freedom in that that's way beyond, opposite day is good.
This is powerful because it completely removes the narrative of carrot on the stick. There is nothing to lure you in. It's like, oh, you thought I'd like it? You have the carrot, the stick, and the string. It's fine. Toodaloo. You can go about your day. And then the opposite party is looking like,
what am I going to use to entice you to do what I want you to do? I don't know. What you got?
Oh, but Lalita, let me tell you, I'm sure you see it, that the dark forces is looking pretty desperate out here. They're like, what about this? What about that? What about this? They're not biting. And to try to keep the attention, which again takes away from the freedom.
It's like being on YouTube and being shadow banned, making sure that you're not seen, and then others supporting that by their own behavior. But that's not the only way that I'll be seen.
You'd be like, keep your carrot, your stick, and your string.
Yes. It's like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but
that's right. Whatever
it is that you think you can stop me with, you have no idea what I am and what is happening. We are at the reset. We are moving into the golden age. This is the time where we're moving out of darkness. Who are you to stop this galactic shift that I'm riding on the back of the mother and she is going through the waves and I'm right there with her?
That's right. I see you on your surfboard over
yeah,
here.
I'm right there with her. I'm like, and we're not keeping no stuff that we don't need.
That's right. It's hard to carry stuff and surf.
Yes.
It's like, you gotta be free.
Yeah, we're not keeping none of that, and I'm never gonna cry about
That's
it.
right.
Like,
because you too busy on the wave. You in the moment. Can't be. My mind is. I've surfed before, so I see like the literal implication of it.
Yeah, we're not saying full sentences here for the camera.
Excuse me. Well, so I'm really on that surfboard idea of how when you literally, like, when you are surfing, you gotta be in the present moment.
Yeah.
You can't be on what happened offshore or what's going to happen after. You got to
the outfit you left on the bed.
Yeah.
You got to be on the wave.
Yeah.
You can't be back there with your stuff.
That's right.
You have to recognize the stuff served its purpose. You manifested it. That was the point. That was the whole point.
Yeah, I see the shoulder shrug in there. Like,
Yeah, that was the whole point. The point wasn't to keep it for eternity, to keep your polyester outfit for eternity.
that's interesting.
That's a sentence, not freedom.
I think that's a beautiful application to even the idea of the growth in the moment, or the whatever the uncomfortable transitionary spaces may be, where, yeah, it's manifested, it's a thing. It's not forever.
No.
You can
keep your picture on the refrigerator you did when you were 6 for your mother, if you want to. You can.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm just saying, that's how we look at everything. Like, we have to memorialize it, we have to frame it, we have to keep it, and we're mad if our mother ever takes it down. You're 30. You don't have my picture when I was 6? No.
Keep looking back.
Yeah. It wasn't the freedom and the beauty and the victory was that you did it. Not that you still trying to be with it. It's like your first girlfriend.
Yeah.
You want to go back there and do that?
No.
And so some things are outdated and they expire, and things need to be updated, and you need to be moving forward. Why aren't we dreaming bigger? Why aren't we dreaming bigger than our stuff?
I gotta
Why
answer to that rhetorical question.
Why aren't we wondering, what planet am I going to terraform? Why aren't we wondering, all the time I've spent with food, will I become somebody who brings food into other planetary systems for other beings? Why aren't we thinking like that? Why aren't we thinking, I wonder when I become a sun if I'm going to shine and make things grow like the sun shines that I know? Why are we still on clothes and furniture? Seems unfortunate.
Seems limiting.
Doesn't seem like freedom, does it?
No.
Doesn't feel free. Feels
It's
like we're caught up.
I'm hearing you. I'm like, damn, how can you think about this? It's like, it's grown man or cosmic man stuff. You know what I mean? It's like maturity is growing beyond the artificiality.
Evolution.
Yes.
Where's the evolution? Our parents, I have clients whose parents came over on the Mayflower, and they still have the hats and the deconstructing evidence of the clothing and the dressers and all of the sadness and distortion that was involved with all the hundreds of years of all of that. Why? I'm like, they're like, I don't know what to do with these things. Nobody wants to buy them. I don't have any storage for them. I'm like, they're 300 years old. You don't want it. It's deconstructing and has gnats on it. So, what are we trying to do here? Haven't we grown beyond that? I want to live in the time where my clothes are colors that I decide, and I wake up in the morning and design my colors I'm wearing that day. That's the world I want to be in. I want to hear the sounds that, when I have the opportunity to be of service to other life, that I can resonate the frequencies that are of service. I'm ready to not do this anymore. This doesn't feel free. This feels like it's time to change, to grow, to be more, to have the next experience, the evolution that should come with freedom. There is nothing more imprisoning than the lack of being able to grow. If you are a blade of grass and there's not enough sunshine and water, is that imprisonment, enslavement? Is that life?
No. Life cannot flourish in those conditions.
Right. So, I see you taking this so, like, I cannot flourish.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm looking. I'm seeing literally the plant without the sun.
You're like, take that picture off the refrigerator. I gotta grow, Mom.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, and for myself, but for humanity, it's real in the field.
No, we need to grow beyond our houses. We need to grow beyond wanting to take all the toys from someone else.
Mine.
Yes.
Mine.
Yes. We need to grow beyond, I'm going to have all the food and you're not going to have any. We need to grow beyond that to a place where what makes us happy is to be of service to other life, not necessarily humans. How about dogs, cats, trees, flowers? The things we know about and then the things we don't yet know about. Let's be of service to the air. Let's be of service to all of the things that we're unaware of. So I think that would give us ultimate freedom, and the way to get there is to push ourselves beyond the boundaries of our comfort. It's that cold splash of water, that's that cold shower.
Yeah.
Like move into the little bit of uncomfortability, even if it's only a small amount.
But you know what I've noticed, Lota?
What?
After I take that cold shower, I'm beaming. Dopamine levels off the chart.
Yeah.
Feeling, I'm glad I went through that. It made me stronger, which is kind of wild, but I can see what happens when we resist the growth and what's there for us to gain in the moment.
The constant comfort is a psyop.
Yeah, it is such a psyop. It's everywhere.
It's a psyop. The constant, like everything has to be comfortable just the way I like it, just all the time. And there can never be anything that I haven't thought of yet or that other people do in other places. I can't have food that's too hot. I can't have food that's too cold. I have to have exactly the same things all the time. That's hell. That's not freedom. That's endless non-growth. Endless remaining an infant instead of growing up. It's never experiencing what it tastes like when you bite into a jalapeno. It's like there's a reaction there.
Yeah.
And there's a physical reaction. And then there's a cleaning out. And then there's your sight gets better. And then you feel different. And it's live and it's raw and it's hot and it's spicy and you're alive and you can do things. And it's got that energy. It's also got some parasites don't want none of it.
Yeah, heat.
Yeah, it's got a little heat to it. We need a little bit of the cold. We need a little bit of the hot. We need to shake ourselves up a bit so that we can be flexible enough. Otherwise, we become stiff and boring and unable to move. When the wind blows, we just break because we can't see what's in the Epstein files because we're too delicate. What's coming is much worse than what's already been here. What they're going to see next, and the many nexus, the many next things are going to be, this was just the beginning. So I encourage everyone to get a cold shower, or at least some cold water on their face.
A little splish splash.
And get you a jalapeno, do something so that you can, make the life come back into you. Yeah. So you can dream a little bigger. This circumstance could make us think what the world should be. Most of us have no idea of what the new world should look like because we're just so comfortable with our world.
Yeah, without any contrast.
With no contrast and no real desire for change because we're so comfortable. It's so convenient. Our life is so comfortable. Everything's so convenient. How could I think of how else the world could be? It's so nice. It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate circumstance that we find ourselves in, that we're not striving for something greater.
It's wild because I'm seeing the beauty in this right now as we speak. It's like a trajectories within the field of the Akasha for humanity, where like this deep level of understanding and clarity of what we've allowed and permitted, and like it's impressed in us. And I could see where we're like, no, never again. This catapulting and how high we could go. There's often talks about how the potentiality of human is so great. So great to where there's certain beings who are jealous and envious of the potentiality and attempt to keep us stuck within the status quo so that we don't supersede them. But I can see where if we are with this experience and gain what there is to be gained, our potential for growth, whether it's within our immediate arm's reach reality or our collective, we're going to pop so far into a different polarity where and then the certainty that this will not take place on our planet or in our experience.
You know, it goes back to the saying of anti-life is not greater than us. We are greater given persistence and dedication than anything that is less than us by definition. You're less than us. By definition, it shouldn't win.
Yeah.
But we allow it to win because we're sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm not.
There's a fast food, not fast food, like a snack bar. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. It's a little old. You remember that?
I do remember that.
It's like, yeah. It's like,
But that's really our deep dedication to the daily practices, to what we do, what we are committed to, who we say we are. And that deep confirmation is the same kind of confirmation that people have who don't like you. Like, I don't like you, and I haven't liked you, and I don't like you tomorrow, and I'm not going to like you the next day. I'm going to use consistency and making sure, and we have to be, but I love me so much more than you dislike me.
That's right.
I love me, and I love humanity, and I love the idea of creation that was given to us so much. I'm in such support of Source that I will outshine your determination to make me not shine. That's the reality. Like, whatever this is, I can let it go because I'm in dedication and gratitude and appreciation to Source for life, for being able to feel this. That is enough inspiration to keep me focused. I don't really need the inspiration from anti-life for flashing, glass beads and flashing lights.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives us really nothing. It's really nothing.
Yeah.
It's an aspect of us that they like, take that part and tweak it and show it to them. It's them, but they don't know it.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. So once you get that part, it's easy to see that anti-life, that which is darkness and negative, has no power over this except for what we give it. If we stop giving it, it stops getting.
That's right.
So I'm sure we're over time.
Oh, we are well over time. I was just allowing the stovetop to begin to cool off.
Did you have any final thoughts?
While being present in the moment. I feel like this has served me greatly, and we encourage, if this has served you, click that like button, the subscribe, so you can stay in the loop, and maybe even that little bell notification so you can be made aware of when we drop our podcast, when we do our live streams. We got a lot going on here. But thanks again for having the conversation with me, and I think many who listen to this would find value.
We thank you all for joining us, and we give you the greetings of In Lakesh and Veritas with honor, with respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. Thank you.